Welcome to the Savannah Paranormal Museum. Where history and horror cross paths. Join us May 1st to see what's dying to meet you.
Hey, everybody.
What's happening?
Crazy night because we had a great weekend. Blaine came to be with us.
Oh.
We missed you, Blaine.
Oh my gosh. I know. I miss you
I
so
know.
much.
We got to stand on holy ground for
Yes, we
for
did.
Cherokees on that petroglyph. That's like a Catholic getting to go to the Vatican. That's like a Muslim going to Mecca, and to touch my bare feet to our ancestry and our history. And the spirits around there were just so cool. It was more than amazing. And we got to help so many people this weekend, help them with their gifts, help them get an experience they'll never forget. Hey, I can't ask for any more.
We had a record number of attendees. Oh my gosh. We had people that had their children that are psychic and they were able to make breakthroughs. It was absolutely incredible. So we were at the Haygood Mill in Pickens, South Carolina, All Access Network, as well as the team that's part of Family Spirit. And wow, only thing I can say is wow.
It was
because
awesome.
the energy of the place. Well, Brandon Cooper got there 2 hours before us and he danced. He did indigenous dancing for 2 hours before we got there.
Yep.
He was already in the middle of the dancing gnome. He was cutting a jig, man.
Cutting a jig.
Yeah. Hey, Stacia, I miss you. I wish that you were on this show too.
She'll be on my show Thursday.
Aw, darn it. Okay, she's gonna have to come on mine. We'll figure it out, right? Like, right, Blaine?
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We had her on our show.
Well,
Excuse me.
again.
Oh, okay. I'll say we've had her before.
It's like, what? Confused him, man. Confused.
Look,
Okay,
so
the
tonight
great
is
thing.
gonna be intense. Oh, I miss you too. Oh,
Yeah, the great thing is big news. I'm heading up Wardruna now, taking over all the everyday things, and
Right on.
just what you guys talking about, helping children heal with their abilities, those types of things. I'd love to have you guys aboard with us. That would make so much sense to help, national, international people heal or know their gifts or to be able to press on. Yeah.
So what were you put here for, Patrick?
Oh yeah, the Wardruna Healing Society, but also, as you guys saw, just flashed, the Connecticut Paracon.
Yes.
Again, dinner investigation with the Godfather,
Always
John
like
Zappis.
commercials.
So there's still maybe a few tickets left. Just make sure you email us. I know, unfortunately, we always do a little typo that happens, but it's www.paracon2ns.org. There we go. So, and that way, go on there. You can see how to get your reservations or your tickets for the event. Get to hang out with Butch Patrick, played Eddie Munster on the Munsters. You'll get to experience Wardruna in person at the Paracon. Of course, you also get to experience all of us from All Access Network TV and everything that we bring you with true crime and paranormal and metaphysical. So it's going to be quite a weekend. Make sure you join us. And, speaking of true crime, we got a big one for us tonight, guys.
It's insane, guys. Also, let's just say we're now on Roku and Apple TV. So thank you very much. Everything's loading.
Yeah.
Also, big number here. We reached 102,775 people on one of our 5 channels in the last
8 channels.
8 channels. Yes, 8 channels in 28 days, not 25. My bad. I fat fingered that. So, hello, Christy.
Hi, Christy.
Hey.
Yes, Thomas is going to be extremely important to Wardruna.
Yep. So
Oh, I would,
So
I
sweet.
would be so honored. I
Yeah.
really, really would be so honored.
Yeah. Definitely need you.
Thank-
Definitely need all you
thank you.
guys, you know? So
Let's
we need
talk
all of
about
you.
it after and talk about it with the team and
Yep.
absolutely. Thank you everybody for watching.
Yes.
Okay, so tonight we're talking about the infamous Arthur
Mhm.
Shawcross. Shaw, S-H-A-W, Cross.
Yeah.
This man
This
is a
one.
nasty son of gun.
Son of gun.
Oh, he's
You
nasty.
got his
Yeah.
picture.
Yes, I
Yeah.
shall. Put it with your Gwen poster. That's right.
Yeah.
We love some Gwen around here.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Love you guys.
So, where do we start? I guess we start from the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the heck, Shawcross. There you
Yeah.
go, guys. This man,
Oh, look at his eyes.
he has got some beady eyes.
They usually
You
do.
know, even towards the end of his life, his members, they're trying to, his family was trying to, I don't know, trying to reach him. But
Yeah.
you said whenever we were talking about this earlier, Tom, you told me that he had it all. He was
Yeah.
crazy in all the ways.
Yeah.
He's filthy. He's nasty.
Ugh.
Yeah.
He's this dude is one of the first serial killers I studied. This man is sick. Thank you, Stacia. He
Yeah,
is.
he has a new category of sick of what this bastard was. Good
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
He
So
fit.
it
He fit
starts
every
off.
aspect.
He was abused.
Every aspect of the McDonald triad.
Yeah. Yeah,
He
he
fit
did.
everyone. He was a bedwetter. He set fires. He was cruel to animals. And the thing is even when he set fires because it got him off.
Yeah, he
Him.
said that it physically
Yeah.
got him off. Here's
Yeah.
his ugly mug.
Yeah.
God dang.
Yeah.
I don't
He
see a
got a-
human soul.
Yeah.
Look at his eyes.
Let me just do that again
Look at
because
his eyes.
Blaine, do you see a human soul in this man?
No. I was just about to say he is soulless.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
man has no soul. No
I don't know
conscience.
if it happened when he was being abused as a child because his mother was sexually abusive to him. And then
Yeah.
he was made to be abusive with his sister. I don't know how else to,
Yeah.
that's as close as I'm going to say that because that's nasty.
Yeah.
But his mother
But
was.
he gets nastier though.
Yeah, but
Oh,
you could tell
yeah.
as a child when you're abused like that, but then you start becoming a bully yourself. It's trying to
That's
garner
exactly.
that control back that you don't have. You're so out of control in your home life, especially at that age, that you act out to control things by being a bully. So
Yeah.
there really is all that stuff. But his mom, molesting him supposedly, how much are
Supposedly.
you going to believe? Because the family denies it. But, again, of course, you're going to deny stuff like that to save face. But him growing up and what he did, I think there's some validity to that of what he was saying. But
Christy's right.
yeah, so
He was born into it, and
yeah.
his mother was part of it, and
Mhm.
so what's the word I'm looking for? It validated those feelings so that he
Yeah.
could
Yes.
go into it. He is soulless. Christy's saying he
Yep.
is blank. There is no soul.
Yeah.
No.
But that's
Also,
what happens when you get abused at a young age when you're developing and all that, it takes it away. But also on top of it, he had physical problems. He had scarring on his frontal lobe, but he also had a cyst on there that they found out. And when you have frontal lobe damage, that really leads to a lot of things.
Yes.
So,
right. That's right.
Yeah. It could go either way with this guy because everybody's tried to diagnose him over the years, and
Yeah.
everybody comes up with something different. Initially, his first arrest was for arson. He was in jail for 5 years, but he got out early because he actually was instrumental in saving a corrections officer during a big uprising at one of the prisons. But coming out after that, this guy, I don't know what it was about this guy that everybody thought, hey, we'll just let him out early or anything like that.
Yeah.
He was initially married. He had I think one child that's still around.
Yeah.
But after that, you know, he decided to go into the military, and he served in the Army, but he boasted about a lot of things during that Vietnam era that they found out weren't true. So that's why you have to go. All right, is he trying to say stuff, you know, to make himself look better? Again, it's that control thing. Some people that have poor self-esteem because their abuse so bad will tend to exaggerate things to try and make themselves look better than they actually are, instead of accepting who they are. And I think he's just one of those parts of his psychosis. So.
That sucked, because one of the things that I heard he did, I had a good hashtag for it. Now I don't even know if I could use it because it might not be true. That sucks ass. That bastard liar. Fuck him.
They're all a lot of them lie. They're manipulators. He was a master manipulator, from what they say. And the only way that tends to happen, the most master manipulators are the ones that they want control. And they're boastful, and they will tell you anything. They pick up on your body language of what you need, and they will use that against you to garner control. It's that, type of thing. So. Yeah.
And Christy's right here. She's saying that there are people that have had terrible childhoods that don't kill. Mm-hmm. We were at Huddle House after the wonderful time we had at Haygood Mill, and that we met a lady there. I'm not going to say where we were or who she was. There's nothing like that. Okay. But bless her heart, she was really grieving about Father's Day because her father had committed suicide.
Okay.
And he was there. And he revealed to me his childhood after I had just studied Arthur Shawcross. Yeah. And I could see similarities in this poor man's life. And he never committed anything like this. No. And it really showed me right there that, hey, he might have had a substance abuse problem to deal with the memories he has, but he never did the things that Arthur did. That's his choice.
Yeah.
That's Arthur's choice.
Well, it is. You do have free will in what you go through as a child, and what you lean towards to take care of that part of your soul that was abused. Again, some people may kill to get back at what they think in their mind is the way to get back at it. He was abused by his mother, so most of the killings were female, prostitutes, and it made it easy for him. But the thing is also some people that go through this, they become alcoholics or they become abusers themselves. There's that trauma that follows them, and it manifests in different ways that their mind, remember, where that screw goes loose, and what they pinpoint in on is what they end up going later on in life from that abuse or that childhood trauma.
Thomas, I don't think you ever had the screw to begin with.
Yeah, probably not.
Check this out. Okay, so 2 kids go missing, 8 and 10 years old. Mm-hmm. He's a kid himself. Yeah. He was arrested. He pled guilty to manslaughter.
Yep.
Manslaughter. Oh, Lord. Okay. He's what? How old was he? 12, 15?
15.
Yeah.
Well, after 15 years. Okay.
So he pled guilty to manslaughter because he admitted where they were and had to go get them. He got 15 years. He was paroled. Even though he had 25 years, he was paroled after 15, thanks to the psychiatric evaluation suggesting he was no longer a threat.
Yeah. I hope those people don't have jobs anymore.
So he was already a man then. He
wasn't working anymore anyways, because it was a long time ago. But
all right, so he gets out.
Yeah, he was a man because.
What year did he get out?
He got out in 88.
Oh my goodness.
And look, I'm coming with a list because I have to show the victims, guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He killed was it 12, 13 women?
Yeah.
That we know of, and he confessed to more. Of course he confessed to more.
Yeah.
Grandiose,
again,
like what Station was saying. Yeah. And I have to ask, what in the world is going on with the evaluation process?
Yeah.
It can't be. They figured out.
That's why we have this show, Lee, you guys,
There it is. There's all the names. And
we're
that's from,
throwing this out there is like, okay, we need to look at this differently. You're putting people back out onto the street that shouldn't be out on the street. There was a recent case here in Connecticut. They let this guy out that there's no way he should be out. You know?
Let me throw that back up again. I just didn't want to do it on with you
that's
talking. Yeah. So basically these victims, let me pull that comment down real quick.
Yep.
Okay, so we have Dorothy Blackburn, Patricia Ives. I'm just going to go through. I know you can read, but I'm going to say their names because these women lost their lives because somebody didn't do their job. It's just that simple. Okay, Patricia Ives, Frances Brown, June Cicero, Marie Welsh, Darlene Trippy, Kimberly Logan, Elizabeth Gibson, June Stotts, Felicia Stevens, and Darlene Edwards. And he dumped these bodies, okay, near the Genesee River. And that's why he was called the
Genesee River Killer.
Yes. Blind justice. Thank you, Christy.
Yeah.
And that's right. Rest in peace, ladies. Rest in peace.
Yeah, plus the 2 children that we know he killed. So there's 13 there.
Yeah. Like one's name was Jack and the other one was Karen.
Here you go, babe. Here you go.
Yeah.
Jack and Karen.
Yeah.
10 8. Now imagine the parents of those little kids finding out that the man that killed their kid got out and killed all these people.
Yeah.
The nausea that they must have.
Yeah. I blame this a lot on the system. You know, again,
I do too.
An upbringing, but our system, you know, whoever's watching this, our system blows, and there needs to be something done about it. There needs to be better evaluation. Again, this show is to recognize victims, to not, you know, glorify the serial killers. It's about seeing the red flags. It's about looking at our children, what they're going through, what they experience, and take them through that process of growing up. Yeah, no parent is perfect, but again, you know, you have to be there for them. You got to support. In just the red flags we see, and just our
I see. They sealed his record because he was a minor.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Okay.
But I know our mental health, you know, industry is messed up. Yeah, his first couple things were wrapped up, but the worst part was a lot of the murders.
Went into the military.
Yeah.
He had these things happen with these children, and because his records were sealed, he was able to get into the military. Now,
I get it. Okay,
let's talk about that.
No, wait, his records were sealed because he committed the arson, not the murders.
Okay.
The murders were after Vietnam.
Yeah, the murders.
Okay.
Got to miss that. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we'll go through. We'll go through the timeline.
The ages, okay, he was in Vietnam. He could not have got out of he would have got out of jail earlier, but he got out in 87. That tells me he was a grown ass man when he killed those children and those women.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the children was earlier. The children he killed in I think it was just when he got out of Vietnam. He was married for the second time. He killed the children. They caught him for Karen, but Jack, he admitted to, but there wasn't enough evidence to show that he actually did it. But the thing was that was in 71.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're talking him 15 years, brings him out, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, like 72, he went into prison. So, yeah, it brings him out at that 87 mark. But the thing was when he got out, because of that, those murders, none of these towns, his parole officer had to get him like housing, and nobody wanted him. So they would like kick him out. He had to go here, go there. Finally, the reason why a lot of these women got murdered is because the probation officer got so pissed off he couldn't place him anywhere. He decided not to report of his stuff. So that's why that happened, because nobody knew who he was in that town. So you're talking in Rochester, that area, you know, that it's people don't give a shit about their jobs and what they need to do when they're dealing with these people. Our mental health industry, it is. People get so inundated, they just break down and they just don't want to do anything. And you got to realize that if you can't do the job, you're allowing people out that are going to end up killing people, you know, and it's sad. And, you know, that's what it leads to. It just takes one person, you know, to not do their job. And then all of a sudden 12 women die. So
Yeah.
that's what
Here's another
pisses me off.
slide for us, okay?
Mhm.
All right, so he claimed he was a combat soldier in a special unit behind enemy lines and that he killed and mutilated dozens of Viet Cong soldiers, beheading them, nailing their heads to trees. He says that he's raped and killed Vietnamese women and children. He said that he developed a taste for cannibalism by eating human flesh from corpses in Vietnam. The Viet Cong that was his favorite dish. He told the FBI profiler Robert Ressler that the war awakened a monster in him, making it easier for him to murder and easy later in life. And he used these claims to say that he had PTSD and dissociative states when committing these crimes. Now, like Blaine was saying, that's a load of it's a load of shit. Okay.
Yeah.
The truth is he worked in supply and maintenance, not combat.
Yeah.
There was no evidence that he was in any special force or that he engaged in any direct combat. Military records show he never received any combat medals or citations for combat missions, and he never served in any areas that had any intense fighting. So he's just making all that up.
Yeah, he was a pencil pusher. He passed out pencils and basketballs to people. Jeez.
And then finally, here's why. He wanted to shift the blame from his crime to the war trauma. He wanted to manipulate law enforcement and the media, and let's face it, the court system.
Yeah.
And he wanted to justify his behavior. So
Yeah.
basically, he was largely seen as just a manipulator.
Mhm.
So honestly, this man is not as good as Bundy as far as being successful. But he's a nasty, nasty individual.
Yeah.
And
Well,
see,
I think Bundy. Go ahead, Blaine.
and I think it makes it too. It makes me mad that he was in our military, and then he lied and said he had post-traumatic stress. I have post-traumatic stress disorder.
Same here.
And for some dumbass that passed out pencils and notebooks to claim that, it's infuriating to me. He never lived. I mean, he was never in actual combat zones. He was never shot at. He never had rockets, mortars, and tank fire at him.
Well, you're right. His PTSD isn't from the military. His PTSD is from his supposed
childhood. Yeah.
Probably from his mom.
Yeah. And for somebody to take on, you know, like we talk, people say, "Oh, I did this, I did that in the military." Again, you're taking away that honor of people that actually did that. That's despicable just as much as killing somebody, you know.
Yeah.
But
Well, he does have a low IQ, so it
that's
is.
what they said. They said he tested at a low IQ, but that's where the psychosis comes in. That people don't know how to look at him, because when he went into the Army, all of a sudden his IQ test was so much higher. So it's like, okay, why are you screwing around with this? You know? So nobody really knows. This guy was always manipulating, even test-wise and all that. And it's almost as bad as you know, the co-ed killer, you know, where
Yeah,
he
I was thinking
test
that.
and he
Let's
manipulated
look
the
at his
test.
ugly face again. Look.
So,
No.
I mean, I just don't see it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Soul stank.
soul. There ain't no soul.
There.
No, there ain't no stank to have. No, that's so gone.
yeah.
It's soul rot.
So
Yeah.
there. It's gone.
But again, you know, we were talking about Bundy. You know, his IQ was through the roof. You know, and his background and all that. You can't compare him to Shawcross. You know, because Shawcross was just. I think Shawcross had, for some reason, this dumb luck on his side.
Yeah,
be
he
able
did.
to go to prison, get let out, whatever, manipulate this. Unbelievable. In the dropping of the ball, I mean a heavy fucking ball.
Yeah.
Not my French there, but that's what aggravates me.
Yeah.
You know, do your job. Do your job to keep
you.
this stuff from happening. So, you know, unbelievable.
Yeah. I feel bad for all the parents and the families of all the victims.
Mhm.
And you said it earlier, the two kids, mother and father.
Yeah.
All right, they not only took their children, now this idiot got out and killed 12, 13 more people that could have not been killed if they'd have kept his ass in jail.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna be frank here. It'd been better if they put him in a cell and said he was a chomo and then let the prisoners get rid of him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
that
yeah.
would have happened in a second.
Exactly. So, and just this guy, his upbringing and all that. And you're right. Everybody goes through it. Everybody has these different things. There's been other people that have had that type of upbringing, but why does this make some people a killer and some people not? Really, there's
Just find
that.
excuses to be what they are.
Yeah, it is. You have to want to. You have free will. You want to and all that. Yeah, you could blame it on your upbringing and all that, but there's a way to everything. Even our upbringing, if we're brought up poor and people say, well, I'm poor, I'm going to remain poor. Yeah, you don't manifest it right.
Yep.
Everybody has an opportunity to succeed and to get out of their situation. So I just, psychologically, you have to bring yourself to that. You have free will to make that decision. And a lot of these killers made the wrong decision. They went down the wrong road and they could have, changed. So, but this is what happens.
Stacia said she read The Misbegotten Son when she was 18 and it gave her nightmares.
Yeah.
And Christy did too.
That means I gotta go. That means I gotta go read it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, his upbringing is only a contributor. I want to show you something that, as I was going along. Remember I told you Dave Bundy doesn't look anything like he did, that he's gotten treatment now and he looks like a whole different person. Well, check this.
Yeah.
See him with treatment. And he's somebody's dad, guys.
Oh.
Here he is with his children.
Yeah. That's his I think one of his daughters and granddaughter or something. So
yeah. And this is when she found out. She was actually on Dr. Phil talking about when she found out that he was her father.
Yeah.
And we were talking to Charles Manson's grandson, Brandon.
Yeah.
And when he found out, I'm trying to get him to come on the show to discuss it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to glorify what his grandfather did. He wants to talk more about what he does as opposed to that. So, I mean, I get it. I get it. But if I can, articulate it enough for him to understand.
It's a matter of knowing that he could save other people's lives.
Yeah, because there's other people that are dealing with this. Hey, this is Grandpa. Come on, Luna. There's Blaine. There he
trying to
is.
get up there.
There he is. Hey, Blaine. Hey, Thomas.
What's going on, Luna? You got all the pets tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's around
Hey,
it.
I did come up with a hashtag for tonight.
Okay.
Dumber than Otis Toole.
Oh
That's pretty dumb. Otis Toole was
God.
he was just one step above being mentally mentally challenged.
Yeah. Well, Stacia is right. She said once you turn 18, it's all on you.
Yeah,
You don't have to be a product of your environment. You have to own that crap.
Yeah.
Make your own life.
Yeah.
That's your choice. Instead of, like Thomas said, if you grow up poor, find a way not to be poor. Go get a decent job, get an education, do something.
You don't have to go out and compare your life to the lives of the people that did these horrible things.
And it's always that you want to give your children more than you had.
Yes.
So why not go out there and do something good for a change instead of, being a dumbass serial killer?
Yeah. Christy, that's right. Charles Manson's son did die, but grandson did not. And he did not know he was related to Charles Manson until he was an adult.
Well, the problem is they don't know how many children Charlie fathered. There is no count.
There's no way to know.
Because Charlie was with every girl in the family.
Yeah.
So you don't know how many youngins he's got running around right now.
Exactly. You know, it just takes a little 23andMe to find out, I guess. So
Not no more. They went bankrupt, getting sued. You had to go back to Ancestry.
They
Yeah.
rock down. Things coming to the show. Yeah. So it's Ancestry. So it looks like there's going to be a little flip in that
Yeah.
whole process, but maybe it'll make it bigger and better.
A better would be
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it's because of stuff like that that they caught like the Golden State Killer after tons of years, and some of these other things still going on. You know,
Yeah.
I think some people out there are going to do their DNA, and then their DNA, and unfortunately their ancestors, they're going to help capture somebody. You know, after all these years.
Too bad, man. Capture them all. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
If it gets them off the street instead of killing somebody else, hey, that saved know how many lives. We don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the victims' names back up again. You know, we usually do that
That's
more
important.
than once.
Yeah. We
We
need to do
usually
that.
do.
Yeah.
There we are. Bless your hearts, ladies and kids. I am so sorry. I know that you shouldn't have put yourself in such a perilous lifestyle, but you know what? Sometimes that can't be helped.
Yeah.
And I'm not judging. I'm saying I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness, I'm
It's
sorry.
weird. Like we talked about how in your lifetime you come across directly or indirectly with 33 serial killers, and but a lot of some of these victims are victims of their own upbringing too.
Yeah.
Some of the people that take the life of prostitution, they go the same direction. They have the same abuse growing up, and that intertwines, and that's what puts you in that situation, unfortunately, for those people. You know, even looking at Eileen Wuornos, you know, her.
Yeah, look at her.
So it is. She went that direction. Do other prostitutes do that? No, but that's what made her, you know, go loose there to do what she did.
That's right.
But it is. We're all human. We're all, you know, the human experience is different than the spiritual experience.
Yeah.
You know, it's you come to terms spiritually, but the human experience is what really is why we're talking about this stuff now.
Have you guys ever read the Tibetan Book of the Dead?
Yes.
Yeah, heard of that. Yeah.
Man, if you look at these types of things and compare it to what happens according to the Book of the Dead, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and what's next, I mean, they're not going to make it far, and according to it, they're just going to flip right back around and come back.
Yeah.
And it's a reincarnation. And, you know, I don't know how I feel about that.
But it is. That's our life. It just keeps rolling.
That's true.
You
Well,
keep
I hope we'll
screwing
get
up. You
a
keep
glimpse of
screwing
it
up. You're
before
going to
you
keep
come
rolling
back.
through. There's that divide. You got to keep rolling through, and that's why there's always evil, no matter what we grow up with. There's always evil, and I think it's up to people that are healers and all that to try and keep that from happening. That's why we have shows like this to teach people, you know, to keep it at bay. So,
Thomas, do you think maybe his mother and sister were part-time prostitutes?
I'm not sure. I didn't find it in the.
That makes sense.
I didn't find it in the research, but you know, I'm starting to think that there is some kind of crossover.
That's what I'm doing. I'm picking up heavy on that.
Yeah.
And I think
I was the same way, you know, earlier I'm reading this, like, why can't I find this? Because I really feel that's part of it. And I couldn't find anything. But there was a lot of denial from the family over, because why would your mother supposedly, you know, I'll give the technical term, fellatio her young son.
And why would he have sex with his own sister, or why would his sister have sex with him?
Yeah.
I want to know if the reason it never came out, dude, maybe they were never caught and arrested for it.
Yeah. You know, there is that thing. Yeah. You know, how many men came in and out of the house? There's no talk of that. And again, there's a lot of denial. There's a lot of lies. There's a lot of manipulation in that family. I can feel it. I can feel the darkness of it. Does that give an excuse? No. There's no such thing as an excuse. There's 0 degrees to an excuse. You have a solution for every problem, and you need to find that solution and stop making
you
excuses.
don't hear anything about his father. Not one thing.
No. Nope.
So I believe he was homosexual.
His daddy was homo?
I don't know.
Oh,
You know, he
I'm
was
looking it up.
supposedly abused in a lot of different ways, and there was talk about that he was abused by a male. It was never said who in my studies and all that and what I'm looking at. But, you know, sometimes if you dig a little bit deeper, but there's a lot of closed things that you have to be law enforcement and things like that to be able to reopen or in
yeah.
the court system, which of course I'm not anymore. But, you know, there's some files I'd like to get a hold of to really dig down deep.
But we all.
Yeah. So, you know, it's just with everything, you know, when you understand. It's funny. It's like, you know, when you're looking for a serial killer, yeah, you have the pattern and all that, and we're trying to find them. When you finally capture them, you really figure out, okay, this is why they did what they did. You know, but
So I
that
looked
growing
up,
up,
is
it's
he,
just terrible how this all occurred. And, you know, I pause for that. I pause a lot during this conversation because my mind can't make sense of this one. This
Thank
one's
you.
a doozy. So,
Yeah. What'd you
well,
find, Lee?
I looked it up and it says that he was homosexual, although he had been with women also,
mhm,
and that he had been molested by several members of the family.
yeah,
So it wasn't just his mother,
yeah,
but yeah, he had choices that he could make, and
yeah.
he made really bad ones. But when he was in jail after he killed the children, he had boyfriends in jail.
Hmm.
Well,
He
all of
had
them have
two in
boyfriends in
particular.
jail. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Here, let me show you what I got. It'll take me a second to get it over.
We're like, did she freeze?
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's taking me a
You're like,
second.
let me get a little closer.
I know.
There you go. It's the eyeball.
It's the
Right.
eyeball. Oh, that was cute.
Hashtag flickering eyeball.
There you
Flip
go.
an eyeball.
Uh,
There we go.
So he did have homosexual experiences, whether he was whatever he acted out sexually due to deep psychological issues. But basically, in prison during his first incarceration for killing two kids in the 70s, he did have homosexual sex with other inmates, and then he admitted to having sexual acts with both men and women during interviews, but he's forced sexual encounter that's where it was for him.
yeah.
You know, he being in control.
Yeah. Well, see,
Yeah.
there's a term for that, Lee. He was called prison gay.
Yeah.
Just some of them are only gay ones are in prison. They come out, they're not
Yeah.
gay anymore.
I want to throw up now. I
They
should look that
they
up.
do what they do, and you know how he
I'm
was
looking his
caught.
stuff up.
That was the crazy part. How he finally got caught after, you know, the third time. You know, it should have never happened after those kids or anything like that. But
This case is the worst we've seen
yeah,
as far as court system and
yeah,
psychological evaluation.
exactly.
I mean, who made the decision to let him out? Do we
I
know?
don't know. Whoever they are should be shot dead themselves. But
I
Yeah.
agree.
that's another
They
story.
actually caused all this. Well, they're responsible for
But
part
the
of it.
only thing, the reason why he got caught was actually good police work. You know,
Really?
after the FBI got involved and they did a profile of him, they said, well, you know, this type of person they think will go back to the scene. So there was a helicopter that was up in the air in that Genesee River area, and they happened to see his van near one of the dump sites. And he got
Oh,
on the bridge and decided to, you know, do a little thing to himself and got
Sure.
caught.
right,
And they
right.
decided to follow him, and he admitted to doing everything. And that's actually, I got to say, was good police work. But I think a lot of it stemmed from the FBI doing that profile. So they did that surveillance of a helicopter overhead to see if anything changes in that area. So that's I got to admit that. But everybody else involved in this case, yeah, you all should be shot dead. But that's just me. You know, not to be cruel about that myself. I'm not a person of cruelty, but it aggravates me very much.
He's one that needs to have cruelty done to him. What all he did, and I know he had extenuating circumstances that made him do this.
Yeah,
but he still had the choice to do this or not do this, and he chose to.
Yep, exactly. And he ended up dying in prison. Of course, they took him out one day. He had pain in his leg, and then had a massive heart attack and died.
I hope it was very painful.
Yeah, you hope so, but then again, it may not have been painful. You might have just went, and I just don't think he deserved that. So,
hi, Raven.
Hey, Raven. So that's my buddy Raven. I love her. She's the best. So,
She is.
Yeah, she'll be at Paracon too.
Yep,
So
I can't wait.
Yeah, she's awesome. So, yep. And she was out. She just got back from being out in Arizona. She was filming. Of course, you can't say what you were filming, but I understand that, and of course we all do. But she had called me, and we were having a nice conversation of, haunted objects and how to look at those things and how to take away the fear of that. So that was a good conversation, and I look forward to you guys all getting to meet her too, and her getting to meet you guys. So that'll be fun.
Right on. It'll be fun.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
So here we go. The psychological reviews were contradictory, and there was poor communication between the parole officers and the mental health officials.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow he managed to find a way to slip through the cracks. And after he was released in 87, within less than a year, he started killing the women. And it just doesn't.
So let me say this. Matt piped in on us.
Hold on, let me get this.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. There.
He was wondering if Shawcross went and killed somebody that was had something to do with the people that released him.
A little quid pro quo.
Yeah, quid pro quo.
You go kill my ex-wife.
Yeah, like, did you kill his ex-wife?
So if I let you out, will you go handle my ex-wife so I don't have to have, that extra money?
I do.
Interesting. I wonder if any of those women,
Yeah.
that's an interesting look. Yeah,
we need to look that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
If there's any attachment to any of these women, to other figures that are involved. So it'd be interesting to see. So, but yeah, you never know.
Never know.
You never know. It's all the same thing of, the whole big thing with the guy that had the island and all that. And yeah, he hung himself. So,
Sure he did.
Oh yeah.
And we're Santa Claus.
Yeah. I tell you, money and power, you pay enough people.
Yeah.
Anything could happen. So, and,
well, one of the best quotes I heard was from a former mobster named Michael Francis. He says, I spent many days in that cell. That exact cell Epstein supposedly, he said, there's no way in hell Epstein did that. Yeah,
exactly.
You're right. That money talked and that bullshit walked, let me tell you.
Yeah, you guys got to realize that, the powers that be that run this thing we call the human life, we have to we have to overcome it with the spirituality and what we believe in. Yeah, but it's a battle.
Yeah,
it's a battle on a daily basis that we deal with, and and it's very upsetting. With never going to get political or anything like that, but it's very upsetting for a lot of things. It's like, I'm a firm believer. You all have the opportunity to be who you want to be and to overcome. And I'm a firm believer in, if you love something, then you should be allowed to love it no matter what it is. But that's just me. We're all shaman. We all keep it simple, So.
Thomas Lee had made these voodoo dolls. I said, why call them voodoo dolls? Call them you do you dolls.
Yeah.
You dolls.
Yeah.
And that's my love of it. You do you.
Well, remember, the voodoo dolls have to have the sewed seam for the ass crack. So we need
It did. Every one of them had ass cracks.
They had to have an ass crack. So yeah, that just shows how much if you have a voodoo doll, it's because you think you're using it against somebody you think is an ass. So you better have an ass crack on that voodoo.
Yeah, all of them have ass
They
crack.
do.
All
No,
of them have a butt crack.
They do.
Yep.
Will you hand me
Oh,
Marley? I got
Yeah.
a show of you. I'm sorry, Matt. Matt's gonna kill us soon. So,
Yeah,
oops.
that's the best.
I'm sorry, I'm taking a bite while we're doing this.
It's okay. All right. So this is Marley. I showed her on the last show. She's one
Yeah.
of our favorites, but she has a you-do doll,
Yeah.
You do you.
and this one don't have a
That
Well-
one, the first one I did.
You
no,
do
but
you.
we cut them out. We sewed them up. I made
Mhm.
one. I just cut
I
the
don't think-
rest.
I don't think you did the voodoo crack until I suggested it, but so.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Butt crack voodoo doll.
There you go.
Station.
That's a
You
pretty.
got the hashtag of the night.
We're gonna have to make more. For
Have to make
Connecticut.
more. That's sold a
Oh,
lot.
we're gonna do one just for you.
Blaine, I'm gonna give you one to you too.
Yeah.
So
Oh
you got
my
some projects coming up. I want to make sure you got what you need, brother.
You got it.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
Lord.
More
That's the
times.
best. Hashtag butt crack voodoo doll.
I
That's so
love it. Oh my God.
Butt
Holy
crack,
Toledo.
you do.
Yeah.
Butt crack, you do
Voodoo.
you. You do you.
Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, I tell you, what a crazy
This right
night,
here.
huh?
This was the
There
one.
it
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna put boobs on them too. You watch. I mean,
It's funny. Stacia has the hashtag of the night, but she's also the one that last week suggested that we do talk about Arthur Shawcross. So yeah,
it's next
That's-
week.
Yeah, what's next week?
BTK.
Haven't we
Already
done
made it, yeah.
BTK?
No, we haven't done BTK yet, believe it or
I
not.
kind of swore we had.
No, we
talked
haven't.
about it.
Oh,
We referenced
okay.
it.
I kind of swore we had, but yeah, we'll do him. Hey,
That's a
I
good one.
look back because I can't
Right.
remember. Part
Yeah.
time.
we've done so many. I thought we've done. Oh,
I know.
I
I'm
look
starting
back.
to
thought we
forget
done-
what we've done or not. you
I was
know?
like, damn, I thought we did Dennis Rader. Damn.
No. Nope.
Okay, then. Well, it'll be a good show then.
Yeah.
That's another sick bastard. Good
It is
God.
a new brand of voodoo dolls.
Yeah. There you
DM
go.
me if you want one.
Right. You may have to wait a minute because our fingers
Yeah.
get tired, man.
Mhm.
Well, make sure you guys all message Lee and get your butt crack voodoo doll. So and also come to Paracon. She'll be selling some butt crack voodoo dolls.
Yep.
So that'll be
Yep, I
amazing.
will.
You do
Yeah.
you dolls.
Put
Yeah.
up his,
That's
put up
right.
the con thing.
I got to put up the con thing. Hold on, let me find
Yeah.
the
There we
hidden.
go.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
you
don't
gotta
know,
get.
y'all. My computer was not happy. I don't know what in the world, but
It
anyway,
happens. It happens.
it happens.
Okay, so you're doing dinner and investigation with the Godfather, John Zappis,
Yeah.
and with you, Thomas Gormley.
Yes.
The famous location, which
Yep.
we're not going to say anything about.
We are
so
going to say now because it is out. It is out, just so you know. But it is at a old Elks Lodge. So, and you know how those Elks Lodges go. That the energy that goes into that. It's going to be amazing. It has a lot of different floors, a lot of different things. But I know you guys are all on here, and it's very private event, very little people. But I do want to announce that Leitreanna herself and Stacia Wills will be part of the event. We'll be paired off. One will be with John, one will be with me. We'll switch off. So it's that opportunity. I wish I could get everybody in there, but it's the room and all that. And I think it'll be great. And I'm very excited about that. But I'm just very excited about everybody that gets to meet Blaine, gets to meet Gwen, gets to meet everybody at the Paracon, gets to hear us
Yeah, I'm
talk
ready
about
for
All
that.
Access Network on our 1-year anniversary. And, of course, Stacia chiming in all night, everybody that gets to experience Leitreanna, and just the shaman and the showman just doing our best to have you have a good time at the Paracon. And, of course, John Zappis. I love John. John and
I
I have
do
known each other
too.
for a long time, and I'm just glad that he's going to be there to support.
Yeah,
and
we
just let
love
everybody know his
John.
knowledge. Yeah,
Get one of the Boo Buddy shirts that Blaine
Yes.
has at his booth. We wore them this past weekend
Yes.
because we wanted to show that we're living what we preach about having your buddy and being safe and don't investigate alone. And the para unity. So Blaine will have those and his books.
Nice.
I'll have my books. And including the new one, which is the Haunted Object book that I've written. It's called Haunted Objects, Possessions That Don't Die.
Nice. That'll be a good
That'll
one.
be fun.
And don't forget, tomorrow night on this, I'm having the Shaman and the Showman.
We'll be back. I know you guys are getting sick of me, but at least you'll get to see Charles. You'll get to see Charles. Yeah, it'll be a totally different talk instead of me talking about serial killers. We'll talk about Paracon and butt crack voodoo dolls tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So.
Butt crack voodoo paranormal, LOL. Christy, you're fun.
Just another thing I want to say about Paracon is, we do have guest speakers and all that, and of course we're all gonna do the panel on All Access, Network, the year anniversary. We're the main people of the true crime side of things, so we'll have to talk about true crime. But the big thing is when you run a show like that, we can't be everywhere at every time. So the MCs of the show, I'm making the announcement now. Anybody watching? My good friend Mike Roser, who's always doing our
love him.
We're always having him as our MC. But it's going to be busy, so we need to have 2 MCs, and the other MC is going to be my good friend Monique Too Soon. So she's going to be, so we're going to have some
hilarious.
Two very, they're great, and it's going to make everything run fun, and everybody's going to have a good time, and I'm so excited about it, and I'm so excited that you guys are going to be up there. I've met Lee before in person. I've never met Gwen and Blaine in person, and I just can't wait. Can't wait to give you both big hugs, and no kisses for you, Blaine. Maybe I'll give Gwen a kiss.
Blaine, a kiss from the fur baby.
So it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time.
We've got a lot of things to be very thankful for.
Very grateful. Very grateful for you guys. What we do on this show, what we do for people that watch. Of course, there you go. Raven's gonna want a butt crack voodoo doll. So
everybody's gonna. We're gonna have to get busy.
We are.
We better make more.
And all that free time. Okay, Stacia's saying she's looking forward to meeting everyone as well.
Exactly.
Miss Raven, they're actually called You Do You dolls with butt cracks.
We gotta change.
Let me fix it. Let me fix it.
Lisa, not me.
Hey, I'm doing my best here.
All right.
Hashtag. Is that a hashtag?
I don't know.
I got my glasses on, but I still can't see. This is sad.
It's got to be the poison oak still. So.
That's the excuse.
Yeah.
I can't see with mine either. I'm like.
Yeah. We've gotten off track. We stopped talking about Arthur Shawcross, but
that's all right.
We said what we needed to say about that idiot.
Yeah.
But
he had enough attention, so
we showed it.
Done.
Okay, let's see if I can do it now.
Okay.
You do you, voodoo dolls with the butt crack.
There you go.
With a side of titties.
If you'd have saw some titties on there, I'd have been dying.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Look at the doll. She's looking at
her eyes will turn when you're not even moving.
And I said that she's looking at us like, what the what?
Raven, Saturday when we were doing that little marketplace, her head turned completely. Because
her head turned, her foot twisted. She had all kinds of stuff.
Dude, she was sitting there staring at me.
Yeah.
And nobody's around her because I'm like 5 foot away from her.
Yeah.
Oh, more than that.
Well, I'm not close enough where I could touch it, and nobody touched her.
Yeah.
I looked over to say something to Lee, and I looked back, and she went from like this to like this.
She was trying to enjoy the weekend too, or along with you guys, I guess. I don't know.
She was. She had a blast.
She had a tea party.
The children had a tea party with crumpets and tea.
Oh, that's
over
awesome.
on the other side. And so the girls came and said, "Can she come to the tea party?"
Nice.
And I said, "Sure." So I took her in her rocking chair over there, and one of the little girls said, "She's had a hard life. We've got to be nice to her." And they're looking at her. Don't say she's ugly. She can't help it. And she had a plate, and one of the girls said, "She can't drink tea." And she said, "But she can pretend." And after they gave
young children learning to put proper intent is the best gift that you could give to something like that. Yeah, exactly.
That's why we were so thrilled. And Blaine spent time in detail preparing a young girl that came to the paranormal investigation. And then he passed her off to Gwen, and the mother was with her. And she was taught some techniques and a lot about prepping her intention. And just like Matt was saying on the show last night on All Access Network with Sean Ellis, if you're not getting any paranormal activity, if you're not getting any messages, you need to think about what your intention is, because it's going to be met with you're giving out. What you put out, you will get back. There will be a payday for every day.
Yeah, I got well, her little girl's name was Savannah. And I saw her in one of the cabins. She come up and says, "Mr. Blaine, you told me I could make it stop." And something grabbed my leg. I said, "Stop it, stop it." I said, "I told you had the power, young lady. Don't let them." You put that foot down, little girl. And she was like, and she got the biggest shitting grin. Her mama was just
It was a big breakthrough. Big breakthrough. I wanted to get pictures of that conversation, Blaine, but I didn't feel it appropriate at that time. But I will never. It will be burned in my memory. It was a beautiful moment. Absolutely.
It's so important.
I've got chills on both my arms just talking about it.
Yeah, it's so important that we help the young kids develop their gifts and let them know that it's not, something psychological. It's just our gifts.
Right.
They have to develop them.
That's what I told her.
Embrace it.
I told her, I said, "Look, you didn't ask for these gifts, but there was some reason, something gave us these gifts." I said, "Learn to, like you said, learn to embrace it." And me and Lee gave her mother a copy of So You Think Your Kid's Psychic?
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I'm going to give her the new one when I get it.
Yeah. And she lit up like a Christmas tree, mother and daughter.
When she came to pick it up, she came and got it out of the chair in the museum, and she held it like this, and she said, "Thank you for this. Thank you. Thank you."
Oh my God, that's so
It
awesome.
went from being very pretentious, at first, because she came in, they're of money. You have to understand. Beautiful women of money. And it went from that to both of them being humbled and loved and thrilled and touched. It was one of those moments that will never change. And she came in that way because they were on guard. It wasn't because they were being ugly. But I'm glad we were able to melt all the ice and get to the truth of it. I'm so proud of the team.
Yeah,
you're
exactly right.
I have to say this: she was shaking when she came to the station one. I guess she came to the cabin with me shaking, and I calmed her down, and she did such. I'm so proud of her. I am so proud of her.
Well, Blaine had already got it in her head, but once you have it in your head, you better take
she came to the next two cabins like a tuna.
Yeah, she was shaking, and she went from shaking to she was the rock star of that group. And she went down and did the rest, and she was awesome.
Patrick Welsh, who's over the Savannah Paranormal, he said that she was the star of the show.
Yep. Yeah.
He said that she was amazing. So there you go.
After we gave her confidence of what we do that she can do, she was a bright light. God, she was being the light.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry,
the thing
guys.
is when you give people the recognition of their power, it is amazing that they could go that direction. And that's a great thing with family spirit, with Leitreanna, the things that we're doing to change the paranormal the way it should be, with that healing, with recognizing your abilities, with developing them. with giving people those outlets to heal without having to pop pills or things like that. You know, just recognizing who they are, what their abilities are, and if they have those issues, to be able to have those people that they could go to and help them. That's important. That what we all do. So.
Well, guys, I'm out of here till next week.
All right,
when
brother.
we talk about BTK.
Love you.
Love
We
y'all.
love you.
Blaine, I miss you so much. Love you.
And BTK is going to be a kick-ass show.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Next week.
BTK.
Yes, sirree.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
I had so much fun with him.
It was a wonderful weekend. Wish you could have been there, Thomas.
Hey, Chris.
I wish I could be everywhere at once, you know.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah. I wish I could just get into a little, you know, Star Trek type of beamer and just beam myself anywhere at any time. So I could at least be there for 10, 15 minutes to just experience. Because it's everything that we all do is very important. What you guys did over the weekend, what Stacia and I and our group of people and what you guys were bringing you guys into to help people heal all over this country, all over internationally, all over this world. It's important to know that, yeah, we have paranormal, but there's other things on top of it. Just talking about serial killers and healing and what to look out for in our children, help them develop their abilities and stuff. So yeah, it's an amazing world. It's an amazing time. And I'm just so glad that we're able to share it all together, especially on this show, and especially at things like Paracon and all the events coming up that we're all part of, you know, together or not together, but still just pressing the message.
Yep. And don't forget to get your butt cracked, doll.
Yes.
If you want one, message us and we gonna be sewing.
We're going to be sewing. Well, that's all for Serial Killer, Supernatural, and Murders. Next week, we'll be back with
BTK.
Can't stand that guy. Gives me the creeps.
Me too.
Oh.
You guys have a great night.
Good night, everybody. Oh, yes. We do have to heal in unity. Thank you, Christy.
Yes.
You're the bomb.com, and you know it. All right. I'm going to hit the damn button. Where's the button?
Which one are you doing?
Where's the button? Oh, I got it. All right. Here we go. Good night.
Good night.
Mwah.
Mwah.